Joker is in theaters, and obviously it's getting a lot of hype. And why is that? Is it Todd Phillips' new take on the character's origins? Is it Joaquin Phoenix's bold performance? Is it the social commentary about how we treat mental illness? Yeah, it's some combination of all these factors, I'm sure. But undoubtedly, the reason we're all talking about it and the reason it's dominating at the box office is because it's a comic book flick. Or at least it's masquerading as one. I have one major gripe with Joker, which is that they even claim the story to be about the Joker. And I'm ready to piss some people off, so let's jump into it. But first, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications so you can see more hot takes. It's the right thing to do. First off, I gave the film a 3 out of 5. I did not hate it. It did do some things right. But for the most part, I found myself wondering what the whole Joker aspect had to do with anything. So, this film takes place in Gotham City, and it's based on a DC character. But not really. Writer-director Todd Phillips said this about the origins of the character Arthur Fleck. We just wrote our own version of where a guy like Joker might come from. That's what was interesting to me. We're not even doing Joker, but the story of becoming Joker, where a character like the Joker might come from. So then, why call him Joker? If that's what you're doing, and this version of the character is free from all canon rules, just tell a story. Just tell the story that you want to tell. Do you really need to assign said story to a pre-existing character that's had several interpretations in recent years? Now, I would be fine with this vague Joker-esque character that's kind of DC but kind of its own thing. All I ask is that we get one little glimpse of Arthur Fleck's potential to become the Joker. Every interpretation of the character is different, but they all have one thing in common. They are capable of becoming a criminal mastermind that can outsmart Batman. The way in which they are capable varies, but they're almost always the smartest guy in the room. They're usually fairly witty, well-spoken, and one step ahead of the game. But most importantly, they understand something about the way society works that the rest of us just can't see. There is no indication in this film that Arthur Fleck is any of those things. Without that, there's no through line. There's nothing connecting him to the Joker mythos other than the fact that they call him Joker.
Can you introduce me as Joker?
If all you need to become the Joker is mental derangement and murder, they could have shrugged and said Norman Bates was Joker. Why not call Patrick Bateman the Joker? What the hell is the difference? Some face paint and the fact that he lives in Gotham? I actually might be more inclined to believe that Patrick Bateman is the Joker. That's not a bad theory.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
People will argue that Phillips was being more subtle with Fleck's descent into madness and his journey to his inevitable fate as the Joker, but it was anything but subtle. This is where I'm getting into slight spoiler territory. If you have not seen the film, I would bail now. So in the film, the Joker, a villain who is famous for his maniacal laugh, has a condition that makes him laugh uncontrollably. Little too on the nose, don't you think? I guess the only way it could be more obvious is if they made Fleck a professional clown or something. Oh, that's right, he was. People are justifying all of this by saying that the filmmakers were just trying something different. That feels like a scapegoat. An excuse to do whatever you want with the character, whether it makes sense or not, and say, hey, we were just trying something different. The Always Sunny crew should come out and say that Frank Reynolds is just an origin story for the Penguin.
I started blasting, bang, bang.
Why not? They're just trying something different. They're just saying that's where someone like the Penguin may have come from. And you can't argue with them because they intentionally didn't base it on any canon material. Do you see what I mean? It's like, why? Arthur Fleck has about as much in common with the Joker as this guy has in common with Bruce Wayne.
We totally had sex.
Actually, Fleck and that guy would be pretty evenly matched. Some people have argued that this is an origin story, so Fleck has 20 or so years to become the capable Joker that we all know. And sure, that's fair, but all I wanted was one sign that he was on his way. Just one thing. Like an aha moment where you're like, oh, this guy gets it, something clicked. At the end of the film, when he's surrounded by these masked minions he inspired, I was hoping for this glimmer in his eye that he understood the potential. But instead, he looks up at the sky and mindlessly mindlessly dances. He's happy to be noticed, but the weight of the scenario seems completely lost on him. Not to mention, in 20 years, Phoenix and/or Fleck would be like 65. I just can't imagine a 65-year-old Arthur Fleck leading a criminal underground. He'd be mindlessly dancing while his minions await some sort of instruction. Like, dude, what are you doing? People called films like Infinity War and Endgame cash grabs, but if you ask me, taking an art film or a character study and then slapping a familiar name on it, that sounds like a cash grab. Having said that, I did love the film's commentary on how we treat mental illness in this country, or don't treat it for that matter. It was clever and really appealed to my millennial liberal sensibilities. A lot of the film was very clever, but again, why call him Joker? It just wasn't justified for me. It wasn't there. So that's it, bro. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And why? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. That way you can get more hot takes right here at CinemaBlend. I'll be looking forward to your death threats. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time.